Shaken as we are, so one with care, find we a time for frighted peace to pant, and breathe short-winded accents of new broils to be commenced in strands afar remote. Then let me hear of you, my gentle cousin Westmoreland, what yesternight our council did decree in forwarding this dear expedience.
My liege, this haste was hot in question, and many limits of the charge set down, but yesternight, when all athwart there came a post from Wales loaden with heavy news, whose worst was that the noble Mortimer, leading the men of Herefordshire to fight against the irregular and wild Glendower, was by the rude hands of that Welshman taken, 1,000 of his people butchered.
It seems, then, that the tidings of this broil break off our business for the Holy Land.
This matched with other did, my gracious lord, for more uneven and unwelcome news came from the north, and thus it did import. On Holy Rood Day, the gallant Hotspur there, young Harry Percy, and brave Archibald, that ever valiant and approved Scot, had homed and met, where they did spend a sad and bloody hour.
Here is a dear and true industrious friend, Sir Walter Blunt, new lighted from his horse, stained with the variation of each soil betwixt that Hovenden and this seat of ours, and he hath brought us smooth and welcome news. The Earl of Douglas is discomfited. 10,000 bold Scots, 22 knights, balked in their own blood did Sir Walter see on Hovden's plains. Of prisoners, Hotspur took Mordaunt, Earl of Fife, and eldest son to beaten Douglas, and the Earl of Athol, of Murray, Angus, and Menteith. And is not this an honourable spoil, a gallant prize? Ah, cousin, is it not?
In faith it is, a conquest for a prince to boast of.
Yea, there thou makest me sad, and makest me sin in envy, that my Lord Northumberland should be the father to so blessed a son who is the theme of honour's tongue, amongst a grove the very straightest plant, who is sweet fortune's minion and her pride, whilst I, by looking on the praise of him, see riot and dishonour stain the brow of my young Harry. Oh, that it could be proved that some night-tripping fairy had exchanged in cradle clothes our children where they lay, and called mine Percy his Plantagenet. Then would I have his Harry and he mine. But let him from my thoughts. What think you, coz, of this young Percy's pride? The prisoners which he in this adventure hath surprised, to his own use he keeps, and sends me word I shall have none but Mordaunt, Earl of Fife.
This is his uncle's teaching. This is Worcester, malevolent to you in all aspects, which makes him prune himself and bristle up the crest of youth against your dignity.
But I have sent for him to answer this, and for this cause a while we must neglect our holy purpose to Jerusalem. Cousin, on Wednesday next our council we will hold at Windsor, so inform the lords. But come yourself with speed to us again, for more is to be said and to be done than out of anger can be uttered.
I will, my liege.
Henry, Prince of Wales, enjoys the gay life of London, and the corpulent Sir John Falstaff is his constant companion.
Now, Hal, what time of day is it, lad?
Thou art so fat-witted with drinking of old sack and unbuttoning thee after supper and sleeping upon benches afternoon that thou hast forgotten to demand that truly which thou wouldst truly know. What a devil hast thou to do with the time of day?
Oh, indeed you come near me now, Hal, for we that take Percy's go by the moon and the 7 stars, and not by Phoebus, he that wandering knight so fair. And at me, sweet wag, when thou art king, As God save thy grace and majesty, I should say, for grace thou have none.
What, none?
No, by my troth, not so much as will serve to be prologue to an egg and butter.
Well, now then, come, roundly.
Marry, sweet wag, now, when thou art king, let not us, the squires of the night's body, be called thieves of the day's beauty. Let us be Diana's foresters, gentlemen of the shade, minions of the moon, and let men say we be men of good government, being governed as the sea is by our noble and chaste mistress the moon, under whose countenance we steal.
Thou sayest well, and it holds well too. For the fortune of us that are the moon's men doth ebb and flow like the sea, being governed as the sea is by the moon.
Good morrow. Poins. Now, Hal, this is the most omnipotent villain that ever cried stand to a true man.
Good morning, Ned.
Good morrow, sweetheart. My lads, tomorrow morning by 4 o'clock early at Gadshill, there are pilgrims going to Canterbury with rich offerings and traders riding to London with fat purses. I have visors for you all. You have horses for yourselves. I've bespoke supper tomorrow night in Eastcheap. We may do it as secure as sleep. If you will go, I'll stuff your purses full of crowns. If you will not, tarry at home and be hanged.
Hal, will thou make one?
Who, I wrong? I a thief? Not I, by my faith.
Sir John. I prithee leave the prince and me alone. I will lay him down such reasons for this adventure that he shall go.
Well, God give thee the spirit of persuasion, and in him the ears of profiting. Farewell. Thou shalt find me in Eastcheap.
Farewell, thou latter spring. Farewell, all Halloween summer.
My good, sweet honey lord, ride with us tomorrow. I have a jest to execute that I cannot manage alone. Falstaff, Bardolph, Peter, and Gadshill shall rob these men. Yourself and I will not be there. And when they have the booty, if you and I do not rob them, cut this head from off my shoulders.
But how shall we part with them in setting forth?
Why, we will set forth before or after them, and appoint them a place of meeting, wherein it is at our pleasure to fail. And then they will adventure upon the exploit themselves, which they shall have no sooner achieved than we'll set upon them.
Well, I'll go with thee. Provide us all things necessary, and meet me tomorrow night in Eastcheap. There I'll sup. Farewell.
Farewell, my lord.
I know you all, and will a while uphold the unyoked humour of your idleness. Yet herein will I imitate the sun, who doth permit the base, contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world, that when he please again to be himself, being wanted, he may be more wondered at by breaking through the foul and ugly mists of vapours that did seem to strangle him. I'll so offend to make offence a skill, redeeming time when men think least I will.
The king has summoned the Percy family to his presence. The Earl of Worcester, the Earl of Northumberland, and Northumberland's son, Henry Percy, nicknamed Hotspur because of his fiery temperament.
My blood has been too cold and temperate, unapt to stir at these indignities, and you have found me. For accordingly you tread upon my patience. But be sure I will from henceforth rather be myself, mighty and to be feared, than my condition, which has been smooth as oil, soft as young down, and therefore lost that title of respect which the proud soul ne'er pays but to the proud.
Our house, my sovereign liege, little deserves the scourge of greatness to be used on it. And that same greatness, too, which our own hands have hoped to make so portly.
My lord.
Worcester, get thee gone, for I do see danger and disobedience in thine eye. Oh, sir, your presence is too bold and peremptory, and majesty might never yet endure the moody frontier of a servant brow. You have good leave to leave us. When we need your use and counsel, we shall send for you.
Farewell, my liege.
Northumberland, you were about to speak.
Yea, my good lord. Those prisoners in your highness' name demanded, which Harry Percy here at Holmdon took, were, as he says, not with such strength denied as is delivered to your majesty. Either envy, therefore, or misprision is guilty of this fault, and not my son.
My liege, I did deny no prisoners. But I remember when the fight was done, when I was dry with rage and extreme toil, breathless and faint, leaning upon my sword, came there a certain lord, neat and trimly dressed, fresh as a bridegroom, and his chin new-reaped showed like a stubble land at harvest home. He was perfumed like a milliner, and twixt his finger and his thumb he held a pouncet box, which ever and anon he gave his nose, and took it away again, who therewith angry, when next it came there, took it in snuff. And still he smiled and talked, and as the soldiers bore dead bodies by, he called them untaught knaves, unmannerly, to bring a slovenly, unhandsome course betwixt the wind and his nobility. With many holy day and lady terms, he questioned me. Amongst the rest, demanded my prisoners in your majesty's behalf. And I then, all smarting with my wounds being cold, to be so pestered with a popinjay, out of my grief and my impatience, answered neglectingly, I know not what he should or he should not. For he made me mad to see him shine so brisk and smell so sweet.
Why, yet he doth deny his prisoners, but with proviso and exception that we at our own charge shall ransom straight his brother-in-law, the foolish Mortimer, who on my soul hath wilfully betrayed the lives of those that he did lead to fight against that great magician, damned Glendower.
Revolted Mortimer? He never did fall off my sovereign liege, but by the chance of war.
Thou dost belie him, Percy, thou dost belie him. He never did encounter with Glendower. Art thou not ashamed? But, sirrah, henceforth let me not hear you speak of Mortimer. Send me your prisoners with the speediest means, or you shall hear in such a kind from me as will displease you.
And if the devil come and roar for them, I will not send them.
But drunk with choler, stay and pause a while. Here comes your uncle, Worcester. Brother, the king hath made your nephew mad.
Who struck this heat up after I was gone?
He will forsooth have all my prisoners. And when I urged the ransom once again of my wife's brother, then his cheek looked pale, and on my face he turned an eye of death, trembling even at the name of Mortimer.
I cannot blame him. Was he not proclaimed by Richard that dead is the next of blood?
But soft, I pray you. Did King Richard then proclaim my brother Edmund Mortimer heir to the crown?
He did, myself did hear it.
Nay, then I cannot blame his cousin king that wished him on the barren mountain starve. Therefore I say,
peace, cousin, say no more. And now I will unclasp a secret book, and to your quick conceiving discontents I'll read you matter deep and dangerous, as full of peril and adventurous spirit as to o'erwalk a current roaring loud on the unsteadfast footing of a spear. Those same noble Scots that are your prisoners...
I'll keep them all. By God, he shall not have a Scot of them. No, if a Scot would save his soul, he shall not. I'll keep them all by this hand.
You start away and lend no ear unto my purposes. Those prisoners you shall keep. Deliver them up without their ransom straight, and make the Douglas son your only mean for powers in Scotland. You, my lord Northumberland, your son in Scotland being thus employed, shall secretly into the bosom creep of that same noble prelate well beloved, the Archbishop
of York, is it not?
True, who bears hard his brother's death at Bristow, the Lord Scroop.
I smell it. Upon my life it will do well.
Before the game is afoot, thou still lett'st slip.
Why, it cannot choose but be a noble plot. And then the power of Scotland and of York to join with Mortimer, huh?
And so they shall.
In faith, it is exceedingly well aimed.
Cousin, farewell. No further go in this than I by letters shall direct your course. When time is ripe, which will be suddenly, I'll steal to Glendower and Lord Mortimer, where you and Douglas and our powers at once, as I will fashion it, shall happily meet.
Farewell, good brother. We shall thrive, I trust.
Uncle, adieu. Oh, let the hours be short, till fields and blows and groans applaud our sport.
Falstaff and his companions wait in ambush for the band of travellers. The prince and Poins have hidden Falstaff's horse.
Oh, Poins? Oh, the rascals removed my horse and tied him I know not where. Poins! Give me my horse and be hanged!
Peace, you fat guts, lie down. Have you any levers to lift me up again, being down?
Oh, help me to my horse, good king's son.
Ouch, you rogue. Shall I be your ostler?
Go hang thyself in thine own heir apparent garters.
Ned, where are our cloaks and visors?
Hard by. Come away, Hal. Let us disguise ourselves.
Come, neighbour. The boy shall lead our horses down the hill. We'll walk afoot a while and ease our legs.
Now, masters, stand to it, come to the come. Happy man be his dole, say I. Every man to his business. Stand! Jesus bless us! Strike! Down with them! Cut the villains' throats! Caution, caterpillars, bacon-fed knaves! They hate us, youth! Down with them! Fleece them!
Oh, we are undone, both we and ours forever.
Hang ye gore-bellied knaves, I am done. Now, you fat chuffs, I would you straw away here. On, bacons, on! Watch your knaves! Young men
Thieves are
must
found for
live!
true men,
Your
Poins.
grandchildren
Now
are
that thou and I rob the thieves and go merrily to London, it'll be argument for a week, laughter for a month, and a good jest forever.
Stand close, Hal. I hear them coming.
Come, my masters, let us share, and then to horse before day. And the Prince and Poins be not two arrant cowards, there's no equity stirring. There's no more valour in that Poins than in a stuffed wild duck.
Your money!
Oh! Oh, no! Oh, no!
Got with much ease. Now, merrily to horse. The thieves are all scattered and possessed with fear so strongly that they dare not meet each other. Each takes his fellow for an officer. Away, good Ned. Falstaff sweats to death and lards the lean earth as he walks along. Not for laughing, I should pity him.
How the rogue roared.
The Prince and Poins have returned to the Boar's Head Tavern in Eastcheap, and having shed their disguises, await the arrival of Falstaff.
Poins, Falstaff and the rest of the thieves are at the door. Shall we be merry?
As merry as crickets, my lad.
Welcome, Jack. Where's the bean?
A plague of all cowards, I say in a vengeance, married to an amen. Give me a cup of sack, boy. A plague of all cowards. Give me a cup of sack, you rogue. Is there no virtue extant? Go thy ways, old Jack. There live not 3 good men in England, and one of them is fat and grown old.
Oh, no, Woolsack, what mutter you?
A king's son? Thou a king's son? If I do not beat thee out of thy kingdom with a dagger of lath and drive all thy subjects afore thee like a flock of wild geese, I'll ne'er wear hair in my face more. You Prince of Wales.
You wholesome round man, what's the matter?
Are you not a coward? Answer me that, and Poins there.
Hold your fat paunch, and you call me coward. By the Lord, I'll stab thee.
I call thee coward? I'll see thee damned yet I'll call thee coward. But I'd give £1,000 I could run as fast as thou canst.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? What's the... There be 4 of us here have taken £1,000 this day morning.
Where is it, Jack? Where is it?
Where is it? It's ta'en from us. 100 upon poor 4 of us.
What, 100 men?
I'm a rogue if I were not at half sword with a dozen of them 2 hours together. I've escaped by a miracle. I'm 8 times thrust through the doublet, 4 through the hose, my buckler cut through and through, and my sword hacked like a handsaw. Ecce signum. A plague of all cowards.
Pray God you have not murdered some of them.
Oh, no, they're past praying for. I peppered 2 of them. 2 of them I'm sure I paid. 2 rogues in buckram suits. Now, here I lay, and thus I bore my point. Now, 4 rogues in buckram let drive at me.
4? Thou saidst but 2 even now.
4, hell, I told thee. 4.
Aye, he said 4.
Now, these 4 came all affront and mainly thrust at me. I made no more ado, but I took all 7 points in my target. Thus.
7? Why, there were 4 even now.
In buckram.
Aye, 4 in buckram suits.
7 by these hilts, and I'm a villain else.
Prithee, let him alone. We shall have more anon.
Now, dost thou hear me, Al?
Aye, and mark thee too, Jack.
I'll do, for it's worth the listening to. Now, these 9 in buckram that I told you of,
So, 2 more already.
the points being broken,
Down fill their hose.
began to give ground. But I followed me close. I came in foot and hand, and with a thought, 7 of the 11 I pay.
Oh, monstrous! 11 buckram men grown out of 2. I'll be no longer guilty of this sin.
But as the devil would have it, 2 misbegotten knaves in Kendal Green
Hear
came in
me
at my back.
speak but this.
Mark, Jack.
We too saw you 4 set on 4 and bound them and were masters of their wealth. Now mark now how a plain tale shall put you down. Then did we too set on you 4, and with a word outfaced you from your prize, and have it, yea, and can show it to you here in the house.
Oh?
And Falstaff, you carried your guts away as nimbly, with as quick dexterity, and roared for mercy, and still ran and roared as ever I heard bull calf.
Come, let's hear, Jack. What trick hast thou now?
By the Lord, I knew ye as well as he that made ye. Was it for me to kill the heir apparent? Should I turn upon the true prince? Well, thou knowest that I am as valiant as Hercules. But beware instinct. The lion will not touch the true prince. I was now a coward upon instinct. But by the Lord, lads, I'm glad you have the money. Shall we be merry? Shall we have a play? Extempore?
Content, and the argument shall be thy running away.
No more of that, Earl. No more of that, and thou lovest me.
My lord, there is a nobleman at the door. There is villainous news abroad that you must to the court in the morning.
Oh, hell. Thou wilt be horribly chid tomorrow when thou comest to thy father. Now, if thou lovest me, practice an answer.
Do thou stand for my father.
Aye?
And examine me on the particulars of my life.
Shall I? Oh, content me. This chair shall be my state, this dagger my scepter, and this cushion my crown. Give me a cup of sack to make my eyes look red, that it may be thought I have wept. Stand aside, nobility.
Jesu, he doesn't as like one of those harlotry players as ever I see.
Peace, good pine pot. Peace, good tickle brain.
Harry, that thou art my son, I have partly thy mother's word, partly my own opinion, but chiefly a villainous trick of thine eye, and a foolish hanging of thy nether lip, that doth warrant me.
Shall the son of England prove a thief and take purses?
A question to be asked.
For Harry, now I do not speak to thee in drink, but in tears.
And yet there is a virtuous man whom I've often noted in thy company, but I know not his name.
What manner of man, and like your majesty?
Oh, a goodly, portly man, and a corpulent, of a cheerful look, a pleasing eye, and a most noble carriage. And I think his age some 50, or by a lady inclining to 60.
And now I do remember me. His name is Falstaff.
If that man should be lewdly given, he deceiveth me.
Oh, Harry, I see virtue in his looks.
Him keep with, the rest banish.
And tell me, thou naughty varlet, tell me where thou hast been this month.
Oh, dost thou speak like a king? Do thou stand for me, and I'll play my father.
Depose me?
Aye.
Oh, if thou dost it half so gravely, so majestically, both in word and matter, hang me up by the heels for a rabbit sucker or a poulter's hare.
Well, here I am set.
And here I stand. Now judge, my masters.
Now, Harry, whence come you?
My noble lord, from East Cheap.
The complaints I hear of thee are grievous.
Splad, my lord, they are false.
They are thinking you for a young prince, if I...
Oh, swearest thou, ungracious boy? Henceforth ne'er look on me. Thou art violently carried away from grace. There is a devil haunts thee in the likeness of an old fat man. A ton of man is thy companion.
I would your grace would take me with you. Who means your grace?
That villainous, abominable misleader of youth. Falstaff, that old white-bearded Satan.
My lord, the man I know.
I know thou dost.
But to say that I know more harm of him than in myself, or to say more than I know. No, my good lord. Banish Peter. Banish Bardolph. Banish Poins. But for sweet Jack Falstaff, kind Jack Falstaff, true Jack Falstaff, valiant Jack Falstaff, banish not him thy Harry's company. Banish not him thy Harry's company. Banish plump Jack, and banish all the world.
I do. I will.
Oh, my lord, the sheriff with the most monstrous watch is at the door.
Falstaff, go hide thee behind the arras. The rest, walk up above. Call in the sheriff. Now, Master Sheriff, what is your will with me?
First, pardon me, my lord. A hue and cry hath followed certain men unto this house.
What men?
One of them is well known, my gracious lord. A gross, fat man.
As fat as butter.
The man, I do assure you, is not here. For I myself at this time have employed him. And, Sheriff, I will engage my word to thee that I will by tomorrow dinner time send him to answer thee or any man for anything he shall be charged withal. And so let me entreat you leave the house.
I will, my lord. There are 2 gentlemen have in this robbery lost 300 marks.
It may be so. If he have robbed these men, he shall be answerable, and so farewell.
Good night, my noble lord.
The king has sent for the Prince of Wales.
Lords, give us leave. The Prince of Wales and I must have some private conference, but be near at hand, for we shall presently have need of you.
My liege.
I know not whether God will have it so for some displeasing service I have done, that in his secret doom, out of my blood he'll breed revengement and a scourge for me. But thou dost in thy passages of life make me believe that thou art only marked for the hot vengeance and the rod of heaven to punish my mistreadings. Tell me else, could such inordinate and low desires as thou art matched withal and grafted to accompany the greatness of thy blood and hold their level with thy princely heart?
So please your majesty, I would I could quit all offences with as clear excuse as well as I am doubtless I can purge myself of many I am charged withal. Yet such extenuation let me beg, as in reproof of many tales devised, which oft the ear of greatness needs must hear by smiling pickthanks and base newsmongers, I may, for some things true, wherein my youth hath faulty wandered and irregular, find pardon on my true submission.
God pardon thee. Yet let me wonder, Harry, at thy affections, which do hold a wing quite from the flight of all thy ancestors.
I shall hereafter, my thrice gracious lord, be more myself.
For all the world as thou art to this hour was richer than when I from France set foot at Ravensburg, and even as I was then is Percy now. Now by my sceptre and to my soul to boot, he hath more worthy interest to the state than thou the shadow of succession. And what say you to this? Percy, Northumberland, the Archbishop's Grace of York, Douglas, Mortimer, capitulate against us, and are up. But wherefore do I tell this news to thee? Why, Harry, do I tell thee of my foes, which art my nearest and dearest enemy?
Do not think so. You shall not find it so. And God forgive them that so much have swayed your majesty's good thoughts away from me. I will redeem all this on Hotspur's head. And in the closing of some glorious day be bold to tell you that I am your son. This, in the name of God, I promise here. the which, if he be pleased, I shall perform, I do beseech your majesty may salve the long-grown wounds of my intemperance. If not, the end of life cancels all bands.
100,000 rebels die in this. Thou shalt have charge and sovereign trust herein.
Falstaff disconsolately awaits the prince's return at the Boar's Head Tavern.
Oh, Bardolph, am I not fallen away vilely since this last action? Do I not bate? Do I not dwindle? And I've not forgotten what the inside of a church is made of. I'm a peppercorn, a brewer's horse. The inside of a church. Company, villainous company, has been the spoil of me.
Sir John, you are so fretful you cannot live long.
Ah, there it is. Come, sing me a bawdy song. Make me merry.
From shallow rivers to whose falls melodious birds sing madrigal.
Oh. I was as virtuously given as a gentleman need to be. Virtuous enough. Swore little. Dice not above 7 times a week. Went to a bawdy house not above once in a quarter of an hour. Paid money that I borrowed 3 or 4 times. Lived well and in good compass. And now I live out of all order, out of all compass. How, is the wind of that dory, faith? Must we all march?
I am good friends with my father, and may do anything.
Oh, well, rob me the exchequer the first thing thou dost.
Aye. I have procured thee, Jack, a charge of foot.
Oh, would it have been a horse?
Jack, meet me tomorrow in the Temple Hall at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There shalt thou know thy charge, and there receive money and order for their furniture. The land is burning. Percy stands on high. Oh. And either we or they must lower lie.
Oh, rare words, brave words. Hostess, my breakfast come. Oh, I could wish this tavern were my drum.
Hotspur, the Earl of Worcester, and the Earl of Douglas meet with their armies at Shrewsbury.
Letters, my lord.
What letters hast thou there? I can but thank you.
From your father, Lord Percy.
Letters from him? Why comes he not himself?
He cannot come, my lord. He's grievous sick.
Sick now. Droop now. The sickness doth infect the very lifeblood of our enterprise. Yet doth he give us bold advertisement that with our small conjunction we should on to see how fortune is disposed to us. For as he writes, there is no quailing now, because the king is certainly possessed of all our purposes.
But yet I would your father had been here. The quality and hair of our attempt brooks no division. It will be thought by some that know not why he is away, that wisdom, loyalty, and mere dislike of our proceedings kept the Earl from hence.
My cousin Vernon, welcome by my soul.
Pray God my news be worth a welcome, lord. The Earl of Westmoreland, 7,000 strong, is marching hitherwards. With him Prince John.
No harm, what more?
And further I have learned the king himself in person is set forth, or hitherwards intended speedily, with strong and mighty preparation.
He shall be welcome too. Where is his son, the nimble-footed madcap Prince of Wales? And his comrades that daft the world aside and bid it pass?
All furnished, all in arms, all plumed like estridges that with the wind baited like eagles having lately bathed, glittering in golden coats like images, as full of spirit as the month of May, and gorgeous as the sun at midsummer, wanton as youthful goats, wild as young bulls. I saw young Harry with his beaver on, his cuisses on his thighs, gallantly armed, rise from the ground like feathered Mercury, and vaulted with such ease into his seat, as if an angel dropped down from the clouds to turn and wind a fiery Pegasus, and witch the world with noble horsemanship.
No more, no more. Worse than the sun in March, this praise doth nourish agues. I'm on fire to hear this rich reprisal is so nigh, and yet not ours. Come, let me taste my horse, who is to bear me like a thunderbolt against the bosom of the Prince of Wales. Oh, that Glendower were come!
There is more news. I learned in Worcester as I rode along. It cannot draw his power this 14 days.
That's the worst tidings that I hear of yet.
Aye, Douglas, by my faith, that bears a frosty sound.
What may the king's whole battle reach unto?
To 30,000.
40 let it be! My father and Glendower being both away, the powers of us may serve so great a day. Come, let us take a muster speedily. Doomsday is near. Die all! Die merrily!
Falstaff has raised his charge of foot and is on the march with this miserable and ill-clad company.
Bardolph, get thee before the country. Fill me a pottle of sack. Our soldiers shall march through. We'll to Sutton Cofield tonight. Bid my Lieutenant Peto meet me at the town's end.
I will, Captain. Farewell.
If I be not ashamed of my soldiers, I must soused Gurnet. I've misused the king's press damnably. I've got me in exchange of 150 soldiers, 300 and odd pounds. Now, I press me none but good householders, yeomen's sons. Inquire me out contracted bachelors, such as had been asked twice on the bands. I press me none but such toasts and butter, with hearts in their bellies no bigger than pins' heads, and they've bought out their services. And now my whole charge consists of ancients, corporals, lieutenants, slaves as ragged as Lazarus in the painted cloth where the glutton's dogs licked his sores. And such have I to fill up the rooms of them that have bought out their services. A mad fellow met me on the way and told me I'd unloaded all the gibbets and pressed the dead bodies. No eye has seen such scarecrows. I'll not march through Coventry with them, that's flat. Nay, and the villains march wide twixt the legs as if they had gyves on. For indeed I had the most of them out of prison. There's but a shirt and a half in all my company, and the half shirt is 2 napkins tacked together and thrown over the shoulder like a herald's coat without sleeves. And the shirt, to say truth, stolen from mine host at St. Albans, or the red-nosed innkeeper at Daintree. But that's all one. They'll find linen enough on every edge.
Oh, now, blown Jack. Oh, now, quilt.
What hell? And a mad wag. What the devil dost thou in Warwickshire?
Now, tell me, Jack, whose fellows are those that come after?
Was a mine, Hal? Mine?
I never did see such pitiful rascals.
Not good enough to toss them. Food for powder, food for powder.
Make haste. Percy is already in the field.
Well, to the latter end of a fray and the beginning of a feast, fits a dull fighter and a keen guest.
The king sends Sir Walter Blunt to the rebel camp to talk with Hotspur.
I come with gracious offers from the king, if you vouchsafe me hearing and respect.
Welcome, Sir Walter Blunt. And would to God you were of our determination.
The king hath sent to know the nature of your griefs, and whereupon you conjure from the breast of civil peace such bold hostility, teaching his duteous land audacious cruelty.
The king is kind, and well we know the king knows at what time to promise, when to pay. My father and my uncle and myself did give him that same royalty he wears. My father gave him welcome to the shore, and when he heard him swear and vow to God, he came but to be Duke of Lancaster. My father, in kind heart and pity moved, swore him assistance, and performed it too.
That I came not to hear this.
Then to the point. In short time after, he deposed the king. Soon after that, deprived him of his life, rated mine uncle from the council board, enraged, dismissed my father from the court, broke oath on oath, committed wrong on wrong, and in conclusion, drove us to seek out this head of safety and withal to pry into his title, the which we find too indirect for long continuance.
Shall I return this answer to the king?
Not so, Sir Walter. We'll withdraw a while, and in the morning early shall mine uncle Worcester bring him our purpose. And so farewell.
I would you would accept of grace and love.
And maybe so we shall.
Pray God you do.
Early the next morning, the King and the Prince of Wales await the Earl of Worcester's arrival with the rebel reply.
How bloodily the sun begins to peer above yon busky hill. The day looks pale at his distemperature.
The southern wind doth play the trumpet to his purposes, and by his hollow whistling in the leaves foretells a tempest and a blustering day.
Then with the losers let it sympathize, for nothing can seem foul to those that win. Hello, my Lord of Worcester! 'Tis not well that you and I should meet upon such terms as now we meet. Will you again unknit this churlish knot of all abhorred war?
Hear me, my liege. For mine own part, I could be well content to entertain the lag end of my life with quiet hours. For I protest I have not sought the day of this dislike.
You have not sought it? How comes it then?
We were the first and dearest of your friends. For you, my staff of office did I break in Richard's time, and posted day and night to meet you on the way and kiss your hand. It was myself, my brother, and his son that brought you home, and boldly did outdare the dangers of the time.
These things indeed you have articulate proclaimed at market crosses, read in churches, to face the garment of rebellion with some fine colour that may please the eye.
In both your armies there is many a soul shall pay full dearly for this encounter if once they join in trial. Tell your nephew, the Prince of Wales doth join with all the world in praise of Henry Percy. For my part, I may speak it to my shame, I have a truant been to chivalry, and so I hear he doth account me too. Yet this, before my father's majesty, I am content that he shall take the odds of his great name and estimation, and will, to save the blood on either side, try fortune with him in a single fight.
And, Prince of Wales, so dare we venture thee, albeit considerations infinite, to make against it. No, good Worcester, no. We love our people well, even those we love that are misled upon your cousin's part. And will they take the offer of our grace, both he and they and you? Yea, every man shall be my friend again, and I'll be his. So tell your cousin, and bring me word what he will do. We offer fair. Take it advisedly.
It will not be accepted on my life. The Douglas and the Hotspur, both together, are confident against the world in arms.
Hence, therefore, every leader to his charge, for on their answer will we set on them, and God befriend us, as our cause is just.
Hal. Hal, if thou seest me down in the battle, bestride me so. 'Tis a point of friendship.
Nothing but a colossus can do thee that friendship. Say thy prayers and farewell.
I would to a bedtime, Hal, and all were well.
Why, thou hast got a death.
'Tis not due yet. I'd be loath to pay him before his day. What need I be so forward with him that calls not on me? Well, 'tis no matter.
A great battle takes place. The Prince of Wales is wounded.
I pray thee, Harry, withdraw thyself. Thou bleedst too much. Lord John of Lancaster, go you with him?
Not I, my lord, unless I did bleed too.
My Lord of Westmoreland, lead him to his tent.
Come, my lord, I'll lead you to your tent.
Lead me, my lord, I do not need your help. And God forbid a shallow scratch should drive the Prince of Wales from such a field as this, where stained nobility lies trodden on and rebels' arms triumph in massacres.
If I mistake not, thou art Harry Monmouth.
Thou speakst as if I would deny my name.
My name is Harry Percy.
Then I see a very valiant rebel of the name. I am the Prince of Wales, and think not, Percy, to share with me in glory any more. 2 stars keep not their motion in one sphere, nor can one England brook a double reign of Harry Percy and the Prince of Wales.
And nor shall it, Harry, for the hour is come to end the one of us. And would to God, thy name and arms were now as great as mine.
I'll make it greater ere I part from thee. And all the budding honours on thy crest I'll crop to make a garland for my head.
I can no longer brook thy vanities. Harry, thou hast robbed me of my youth. I better brook the loss of brittle life than those proud titles thou hast won of me. They wound my thoughts worse than thy sword my flesh. But thoughts, the slaves of life, and lifetime's fool, and time, that takes survey of all the world, must have a stop. Oh, I could prophesy, but the earthy and cold hand of death lies on my tongue. No, Percy, thou art dust and food for
worms, brave Percy. Fare thee well, great heart. Adieu, and take thy praise with thee to heaven. Thy ignominy sleep with thee in the grave, but not remembered in thy epitaph.
Near the fallen Hotspur, the Prince of Wales sees Falstaff, seemingly dead, but in reality feigning death for his own safety.
What? Old acquaintance? Could not all this flesh keep in a little life? Poor Jack, farewell. I could have better spared a better man. Oh, I shall have a heavy miss of thee if I were much in love with vanity. Farewell. Embowelled will I see thee by and by. Till then, in blood, thy noble Percy lie.
Embowel me? If thou embowel me today, I'll give thee leave to powder me and eat me tomorrow. Oh, splendid. 'Twas time to counterfeit. Counterfeit? I lie. I'm no counterfeit. To die is to be a counterfeit. But he's but the counterfeit of a man who hath not the life of a man. The better part of valor is discretion, in the which better part I've saved my life. Oh, zound. I'm afraid of this gunpowder Percy, though he's dead. How if he should counterfeit too and rise? I'm afraid he'd prove the better counterfeit. Therefore I'll make him sure. Yea, and I'll swear I killed him. Why may he not rise as well as I? Nothing confutes me but eyes, and nobody sees me. Therefore, sirrah, with a new wound in your thigh, come you along with me.
Falstaff hoists the body of Hotspur on his shoulder. Unluckily, he meets the Prince of Wales and Prince John of Lancaster.
Come, Brother John. Full bravely hast thou fleshed thy maiden sword.
But soft, whom have we here? Did you not tell me this fat man was dead?
I did. I saw him dead, breathless and bleeding on the ground. Art thou alive? Or is it fantasy that plays upon our eyesight? I prithee speak, we will not trust our eyes without our ears. Thou art not what thou seemst.
No, that's certain. I'm not a double man. But if I be not Jack Falstaff, then am I a Jack. Now there's Percy. If your father will do me any honour, so. If not, let him kill the next Percy himself. I look to be either Duke or Earl, I can assure you.
Aye, Percy, I killed myself and saw thee dead.
Didst thou? Lord, how this world is given to lying. I grant you I was down and out of breath, and so was he. But we rose both in an instant and fought a long hour by Shrewsbury clock. If I may be believed, so. If not, let them that should reward valor bear the sin upon their own heads. I take it upon my death. I gave him this wound in the thigh. If the man were alive and would deny it, zoos, I'd make him eat a piece of my sword.
This is the strangest tale that ever I heard.
Oh, this is the strangest fellow, Brother John. Come, bring your luggage nobly on your back. For my part, if a lie may do thee grace, I'll gild it with the happiest terms I have. The trumpet sounds retreat. The day is ours.
Thus ever did rebellion find rebuke. How goes the field?
The noble Scot, Lord Douglas, when he saw the fortune of the day quite turned from him, the noble Percy slain and all his men upon the foot of fear, fled with the rest, and falling from a hill, he was so bruised that the pursuers took him. At my tent the Douglas is, and I beseech your grace I may dispose of him.
With all my heart.
Then, Brother John of Lancaster, to you this honourable bounty shall belong. Go to the Douglas, and deliver him up to his pleasure, ransomless and free. His valour, shown upon our crests today, hath taught us how to cherish such high deeds even in the bosom of our adversaries.
I thank your grace for this high courtesy, which I shall give away immediately.
Then this remains, that we divide our power. You, son John, and my cousin Westmoreland, towards York shall bend you with your dearest speed, to meet Northumberland and the prelate's group, who, as we hear, are busily in arms. Myself and you, son Harry, will toward Wales, to fight with Glendower and the Earl of March. Rebellion in this land shall lose his sway, meeting the check of such another day. And since this business so fair is done, let us not leave till all our own be won.